Hey everybody, it's Sam. Just here to flow with you for another week. So if you would like to start just in some sort of seated position, you can take this kind of thunderbolt position here if you'd like. So I'm just sitting on my legs, they're folded under. You could also go to a hero's pose. I'm not really in a position to do that today, but you could do this and put a block underneath. But goal here is bottom between the legs. And then if this isn't something that's okay for you, I love doing this with a block or two blocks between my legs. So I would just kind of screw my legs apart, blocks width, and then sit on that. But as you can see, I'm not in my typical yoga spot outside or upstairs where I have my blocks, so we do the best we can. But if you have a rolled up blanket or something else sturdy, even a cushion that you could sit on, that'd be great. Also, if these things aren't working for you, you can certainly just sit cross-legged or in some other comfortable position. This just feels really good to me right now. Feels like just a nice, gentle kind of stretch by leaning back just for my quads, and then a little bit on my tibia on the front of my shins. So just finding some spot that feels good to you. Just kind of sit and allow yourself to arrive. If you're feeling tension in the shoulders or the neck, just roll those things out as you see fit here. Try not to do too much movement, but you just want to do just enough, kind of like a few little things here and there. So whether you're just kind of inhaling, arms up, shoulders up to the ears, and then exhale, let them drop down. Or you inhale and just do some purposeful shoulder rolls, just some little movements here as you kind of arrive and settle in, and just allow yourself to relax here in this space. And just maybe run through your day here. And then as you recall your day, as you think back, just try to also recall your point of view throughout the day. That may be silly. You might be like, oh, my view of my day was mine. Well, yes, that probably is true. You're recalling your day from your point of view. I guess even a little more, a little deeper. Who guided your day? Who drove your day? Was it you? Was it someone else? And sometimes it's an inescapable, someone else driving your day. At your boss, someone may tell you to do something, or maybe your job or your assignment to do something. And in those cases, then sure, do that from someone else's point of view. But it can be especially beneficial to kind of understand on a more global scale your points of view, seeing things from your perspective, which can be a good thing. It helps us understand why we feel the way we do about certain topics, political, friendly, why we like certain TV shows, things like that. So it could be a good thing to look at things more from your own perspective and less from a global perspective. But it can also isolate at times. And like I said, you can understand why you like things more, or why you are more attracted to a certain ideal or something rather. But it can also be isolating in the fact that you get more entrenched in your own views and your own ideas. So throughout class today, I'm just going to kind of challenge you a few times, because especially in a yoga class, I feel like my ideas are kind of scattered here, but they'll all make sense as we kind of move through the class. But in a yoga class especially, you can be driven to do things or see things from the teacher's perspective. Go to this pose, try this variation of this pose, etc. Instead of how I always preach, make the pose work for you, you don't work for the pose. So I'll give you just some kind of ways to kind of focus more on your own and cultivate your own experience and your own focus and point of view while you're in certain poses today. And you can do this as much or as little as you like. In yoga, the viewpoint or the focal point is drsti. So that's the word for that. So I'll kind of cue different viewpoints, different drstis for you, and maybe you'll find some different things out and experience things in a little bit of a different way. So we will transition, because I'm sure your legs are like mine right now, like, oh, move, please. So you can just come to a nice tabletop position here. And we'll just move through some cat-cows. So you can inhale, letting the belly drop toward the mat. Head tilts up slightly. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, head lifts up. Exhale, rounding the spine. So maybe here, in your cow pose, your drshti, your focus, can be your forehead, just kind of tilting up and looking, trying to look at your own forehead. And then as you round into your cat pose, excuse me, maybe you focus on your belly, that solar plexus chakra. And you can move through your next cat pose. You can come back to your standard tabletop, and then we'll lift. Which do I want to do first? Let's do left arm, right leg. So you can come out to balance. So you can drop that back foot if it's too much, and even this front arm, just putting more weight in the right arm and left leg. And maybe your focal point here, your drshti, is your left thumb. Just really looking at that thumb. It's a part of your body. It's like you're experiencing fully a part of your body. It's pretty cool. You can stay here or you can bend the right leg. You're going to lose that thumb view now, and you can look straight out ahead. Maybe you also glance down at your right hand. Look at those fingers. You can come back to the extension, and back to your tabletop. Maybe just taking the hips side to side. Moving the hips around. And then back to your tabletop, and we will lift the other side. So right arm, left leg. Once again, maybe taking your attention to that right thumb. You can take that extension if you like. Maybe you choose to look down at your left hand. You come back to that extension. And then back to your tabletop. Maybe you just move those hips around again. And then we'll just take a child's pose real quick. We haven't done that in a while in my class, so a couple weeks. So you can take whichever variation you like, just for a moment. And here in your child's pose, you can close your eyes. Look inward. Maybe your drsti, maybe your gaze here is on your mind's eye. So just wherever you imagine that to be. You can lift up whenever you like and make your way to your first down dog. Ooh, crack. Snap, crackle, pop, like the Rice Krispie treats. So just do whatever little moves you need to do here to get yourself nice and set up here. You can walk your dog if you'd like, bending one knee and then the other. You can step your legs wide off the mat, take a twist. You can also abbreviate your down dog. So either stepping your hands in or your feet in or your hand, but usually a wider stance in this shortened version of down dog feels really nice for the hamstrings, the calves. No tension in the head and the neck. If you're doing this shortened version, you can step back onto your mat. Coming to your standard down dog. We'll inhale up on the toes, and then as you exhale, you can walk your feet to your hands to come to your first forward fold. And in your forward fold, remember you can bend your knees at first. Let the neck and the head hang here. You can take a ragdoll by grabbing onto opposite elbows. Then on your next inhale, you come to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. You can inhale the arms up overhead. Extend a mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So I'll go over just a few drsti points here. So in your forward fold, you can take your drsti to the end of your nose. When you inhale to halfway lift, you can also continue to look at the end of your nose. You can look at a spot on the floor, of course, always, or you can look down at your fingertips. Back to that forward fold. Then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. You can look up at the hands here. You bring the hands together and exhale, bring them to heart center. So once again, you can look toward the tip of your nose. You could also just kind of look down at the hands. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the hands can come down to the mat if they're not there already. And then you can step your right leg behind you, lower that right knee down to the mat for a low lunge. And you can stay here for a minute if you like. You can stay here the whole time. If you're ready, you can inhale, however, your hands to the knees, to the hips. Or if you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl the back toes. We'll inhale and step back to plank. When you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra or to baby cobra. Baby cobra is like really a cool place to be, actually. So just lifting the chest up and then allowing the arms, the hands, to kind of float off the mat. Working on that back strength. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then exhale back to down dog. This is something I didn't account for. I'm going to have to scoot up. You can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through to the hands. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then you can exhale, hands come down to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat. Once again, you can certainly stay here in your low lunge. Gosh, this feels great. Or if you'd like, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up if you feel ready. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to that baby cobra again. So lifting up, arms are still up. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then exhale back to down dog. You can inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through the hands. Drop your right knee down to the mat. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands towards center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your right leg behind you. Lower your right knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. Then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to baby cobra or cobra. So another nice thing you can do is inhale, to baby cobra, and then you can put your hands down the mat. This will give you like a really technically good positioning for your cobra pose. Your hands will be underneath of the shoulder, kind of the armpit there, and then you can just push up. But like I said, whichever you want to stay in is fine. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank, and then exhale back to down dog. You can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through the hands. Lower your left knee to the mat. You can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And exhale the hands towards center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. When you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. Once again, you can inhale up to that baby cobra. You can drop the hands to the mat and then come into your cobra. Exhale back down to the mat. Inhale to plank. Then exhale to down dog. You can inhale the left leg up behind you. Exhale that left foot to the hands. Drop your right knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands towards center. So when we move kind of quickly through those sun salutations, it can be kind of tricky to keep looking at a certain focal point, or I'm sure sometimes it's like, where do I look here? Where do I look there? You don't have to focus so much on that. But sometimes just by, like, have you ever just really sat and, like, looked at your hand for, like, even a minute or two? Just actually, like, looking at your, you don't have to, like, touch it and, you know, whatever, but just, like, moving your thumb. And it helps you really kind of take in this conscious experience, this lived experience. This is my thumb, and it's a part of my body, and I'm making it move, but it's clear on there. And then just really looking at it all, the creases, its nail, if you've got any hangnails, I have one. The palm of your hand, looking at the creases and appreciating all of your fingers. It can just help you kind of really dive deeper into this lived experience, and kind of jumping ahead a little bit, you can use this as a water break if you need it already. But some of the yogis, there are 3 worlds, if you will, that they say one should try to be aware of, and that is the seer, the seeing, and the seen, or my world, my point of view, your world, your point of view, and then everybody that's living, trying to be aware of the rest of the world and that whole lived experience. So that can be called seer, seeing, and seen. And at the end of today's practice, we can do an Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, and you do 3 Shantis, one for each world, mine, yours, and the collective few worlds. I think that's really like a beautiful, really sweet kind of way, I don't know, just to kind of think of life. We go through, like I said, sometimes running off of your own perception, sometimes doing things for a job or family based off of others, but it really is remembering that, like, your thumb is part of the whole picture. You know, it's just cool if you just kind of sit and think about it a little more. So when you're going through these sun salutations and everything, yeah, like when you raise the hands up, you can look at the hands. When you are lunging, hands up, look at the hands. When you're planking, you can look at one hand or both hands. You can look at your nose. But I feel like you can also watch your breath and your breathing. That's another drsti, kind of a more inward spiritual thing. You can really watch that breath, and it will guide you. Your breath knows what to do, man. It will never steer you wrong unless you stop breathing. And then it'll be like, hey, you need to breathe. But yeah, I kind of got off on a thing there. But just something I wanted to say. So don't stress about this, or if it's not your jam, just go through your practice as usual. But once again, always, when you're in yoga, kind of take a bit more of a you perspective, thinking, what feels good to my body now? You can acknowledge that the seeing, me, someone else, my perspective on a pose, and that, you know, I had suggested to do this pose, but if it doesn't work for you, then by all means, you know, we'll find a way that does. So you can come back to moving yoga. So you can bring your hands to heart center here. When you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You can inhale, halfway lift. Then you can exhale, hands can come down to the mat, step your right leg behind you. And then we'll just stay up in this high lunge for a moment. And then we'll hop your right leg up a little closer. We're going for a bit of a pyramid pose here. So if you've got blocks or something, they're very helpful. And then a wider stance here, they make this more enjoyable. And I kind of set the back foot up as though it's a warrior 1 foot. So about a 45-degree angle. Front foot facing directly ahead. Letting the neck and the head hang here. And then hips. So it's one of those things like you could pop your right hip out like really far to get your head closer to your leg or your knee. Not necessary. I have a little bit of a bend in this front leg, and that's okay. But if you think of your left hip forward and your right hip going back, that will kind of put you in a little more optimal alignment. You should be able to sense it shifting from here to here. You'll feel it up the back of that calf, the hamstring. I don't really feel it much in my glute. Alright, and then you can hop that right foot back out. We're back in this high lunge. And then you can exhale, drop that knee back down. And we'll inhale the arms up overhead. And then we'll exhale the hands back down to the mat. We'll inhale and step back to plank. And then we'll exhale, lower down to the mat. You can let the hands, the arms rather, come down to the sides. We'll inhale and exhale, and we'll shift through to a locust. So when you're ready, inhale or exhale, you can lift the arms, the legs, the chest up. Yes, you're locusting. That's great. The back side of your body is thanking you immensely. You can exhale, lower back down. You bring your hands back under your shoulders. And then we'll inhale up to plank. And then we'll exhale back to down dog. You can inhale your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right knee comes toward this right elbow. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to drop it kind of out to the side here. And then you're going to lift, twist. Yes, here's another good drsti spot. I heard someone suggest that. You can look up at this right thumb. You could also, by the same token, look down at your left hand if looking up is too cranky for your neck. All right, we're going to come back to your one-legged plank here, and you can hold it here. You can also drop that right foot out, and you can tilt up into a fallen triangle. Back, knee up, out to the right, twist. Back, down, knee back to center. You can drop it over to the left. And then maybe just lifting this knee back up. You can swing left, right, left, right. All right. Right foot to the hands, drop the left knee. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. I could hear your sighs of relief there. Curl the back toes. Inhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands start center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for the lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll do our locust again. So arms can rest at your sides. When you're ready, you can inhale or exhale and come up. Breathing while we're locusting. Exhale, lower back down. Hands can come back under the arm, or under the shoulders rather. Inhale, up to plank. Then exhale, back to down dog. All right, are you ready? Inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left knee to the left elbow. Drop that foot out to the left. We'll twist up. You can bring that hand back down. We'll bring the knee back to center. Over to the right, you can drop that foot out to the right, and then up. Hand back down, knee to center, out to the left. Drop the foot down. We'll twist. Bring the hand back down, knee back to center, over to the right, drop that foot, up. Hand back down, knee to the center, maybe left, right, left, right, left, right. Left knee to the hands, drop the right knee. Woo. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl the back toes, we'll inhale, step up. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale the hands toward center. Yeah, those last few moves, those were something there. So, we're kind of getting in the home stretch here. So I'll move through a standing sun salutation, if you will, rather. So you can come to the front of your mat if you'd like. Just kind of the same place we've been starting. And then what we're going to do is you're going to make your right leg your sturdy standing leg. Or let's do your left leg, so I don't have to have my back to you for the first part of this. So left leg is your sturdy leg, and if you already started on your right, that's fine. You're going to come into a tree. So whether your tree is a kickstand tree, I'll turn this way. So whether you're a kickstand tree, your foot on your calf, try not to put your foot on your knee. The joint doesn't like to go side to side. It's a forward-backward thing. This typically will put too much pressure, so you can also bring the foot up on the leg somewhere. I'm just going to let this go, and then I'm going to twist back to center. So, many variations here in your tree. You can keep your arms down, arms can come up, arms can come out to the side. If you take your gaze up, that typically changes things in this pose and makes it a little more difficult to balance here. I've got my whole left leg engaged, the glute is really engaged, and I'm actually pushing my right foot into my left thigh. You can close the eyes and then you'll be like a tree in a tornado or something, just uprooted and you'll fall. And that's okay, it just makes it more challenging. But where we're going to go from here, you can Bring this leg up and out. You can come back for warrior three. My arms will not extend out in front of me, otherwise that is what I would be doing. Then you can sit the back leg down for warrior one. So, hands can come up. You can bring them together and then lift up. A little more back bend there. You can exhale, warrior two. We'll keep it to the front of the mat this time. Switching it up. You can inhale or exhale back for a reverse warrior. And then come through to a side angle. So your side angle, you could rest up on the thigh, or you can bring the hand down. We're going to shift to triangle pose from here. So straighten that front leg. And so, my top arm's going wonky. Hand to the floor really doesn't matter here. If to bring your hand to the floor, you've got your shoulders turned over, and you're like this, you're really kind of missing it. You want to keep a nice open angle here. So if hand on the shin is how that happens, or a hand on a block, that's fine. But your hand to the mat can either come in front or behind. And you can look up at your hand, and you can look down at your foot. We're going to bring the right hand down to the mat, bend that front knee, bend the back knee. We'll stay in the slow lunge for a moment. Oh, nice. We'll inhale the arms up. You can exhale and bring them to heart center, to prayer, and we'll do a twist. You can bring the right elbow to the left knee, and you can leave your back knee down. You can also curl and bring them up. We'll inhale or exhale, you can twist to your 5-point start. We're going to do it just a little backward. I'm scooting down so you can see. So, what we're going to do, you can go ahead and bring your hands to twist here, and then you're going to lean over for your twisted lunge. So if you drop the back knee, that's fine, but left elbow is to the right thigh. Everybody can drop that knee down, hands back to the center. We'll inhale the arms up. We'll lower them down. Then you're going to push up, and we'll come to our triangle pose. So this is the perspective from the back of your mat that you probably usually don't practice from. Different perspective. You can bend your front leg and come to your side angle, however you take it. You can inhale, coming back to your reverse warrior. Up to your warrior two. Come through for your warrior one. Launch out. If it's safe to do so, I'm scooting back to your warrior three. And you can come up. You can bring that foot out front. And then do your tree pose. Here in tree, maybe a good drsti is the tip of your nose. And then you can exhale and come down. So that concludes our movement part of practice today. So you can go ahead if you need a drink, if anybody wants to do any sort of inversion or something like that. Now's a great time. Arm balances, things like that. But if you aren't feeling that today, then that's fine. You can just go ahead and make your way down to the seated position. I don't have any fancy ways today. If you want to squat, you know I will always 110% support you in squatting. Also, if you don't feel like squatting, I 110% support you in that too. So, we'll just do a little stretch here. So, left foot to the right thigh somewhere. Then you can inhale the arms up if you like. And then exhale, leaning forward. So maybe your drishti is maybe looking at your toes. Your toesies. Maybe not. I don't know. You could also just look at your ankle or just look up your leg. You could, if you're bending the head down, you could just look at your knee. You could also take a different twist here. You can use the left hand to grab to the outside of the right foot. You can drop your right arm down to the mat or like a blanket or something. And then just think of the shoulder kind of turning up toward the ceiling. And you should feel a nice stretch in the left, kind of the flank area. There's that muscle, the quadratus lumborum, I believe. Just a nice little stretch. Still at the back of the leg, I still feel that too. You can let go of that if you like. Come on up. You can keep your left leg bent on the mat. Just reposition yourself for a seated twist. So put this right leg wherever works for you. If you do put the foot by the left thigh, the right hip can come up. You don't have to lock your sacrum into place. And then you can get yourself ready and twist from the base of the spine up. Head and the neck should be the last things to turn around here. And then you can kind of de-rotate to the other side. And then you can straighten your left leg. Bottom of your right foot to your left thigh. You can inhale your arms up. And then exhale, coming forward. And then once again, just finding some little drishti, some little spot. And going back to that kind of question of where's your focus, this isn't a question to kind of make you feel bad or like, oh gosh, I don't pay attention to myself, or oh gosh, I don't pay attention to others. That's not what it's meant to be about at all, because there are times where really searching for your own point of view and focusing on yourself is important. There are other times where focusing on others is important, and there are times when kind of focusing and looking at the world as a whole is important. So it's just more of an awareness thing, just kind of helping you to be able to be aware more, to kind of, once again, kind of the main theme of everything is to focus your thoughts and your attention. If you want, you can take that right hand to the outside of the left foot. So it's never a shameful thing, a shameful thought. But it just is really asking yourself, where is my perspective? Where is my focus? Where is my line of sight? And that might help you gain just a little more insight into things. You come back up, we'll take that twist. You can rotate the other direction if you like. But it should be said that yoga is typically that time that is for you to focus on you. And sometimes really looking and examining a part of yourself will bring that focus back onto you. So it might be something that comes with more ease certain days than others. To me, but we're all just a work in practice or a work in progress, and you just keep trying it and seeing what you think. So it's time for Shavasana, so you can lay back into some sort of really comfortable position where you can lay still. And we're living in a very interesting time these days where, we feel like we're under a magnifying glass, or there are a lot of issues being brought to light. There's illness and discrimination and things of that sort. So by allowing yourself to dive deep, like I said before, you can possibly discover more thoughts and feelings. However, by listening to others and trying to understand others' perspectives on things, you may disagree with them, and you may rightfully so disagree with them. But understand once again more of why you feel the way you do, you may be able to find information and be able to have a respectful conversation with someone who sees things differently than you. And you don't have to convince them to see things your way, but you just may begin to see maybe why someone sees things the way they do or behaves the way they do. Maybe have empathy. You don't have to sympathize or, once again, feel how they feel, but you could begin to understand that thought process. But we have to be careful to not become so entrenched in our own views that we lose sight of the bigger picture, and we lose sight of why we sought out the thoughts of others in the first place. We don't want to be so caught up in thinking our way of thinking is the only way, because that's just not how it is. So we all have a map of reality, if you will, and it's from our own perspective, from our own viewpoints. And we don't need for our own map to be flawless and perfect and correct. But what we do need from our life map, if you will, is to function, so we can live. And you may, every map has a key, a legend or something like that. And we may need to add and take things away from our map. We may need to mark a new area of importance, or take something away that we thought was important, or take something away that we thought mattered that doesn't. But we just all need to understand that our map functions for us. But someone else may not be able to navigate life with your map. They've got their own map, and that's okay. Maybe talking to you or to someone else, they'll add something else to their map. So just remembering that not everybody will behave or see things the way that we do. And that's perspective. That is that focus. So I guess just looking in, looking deep from time to time, becoming grounded, checking in with yourself, understanding yourself, your thoughts, talking with others, attempting to understand someone else's perspective, looking at their map and seeing what may be different, and then trying to encompass the whole, encompass every perspective, every being, because everybody on this planet matters. We all matter. We're all important. And we're all together in this. At the end of class today, I'll just offer a mantra, Om, which is kind of the sacred syllable, the sacred sound, encompassing all other sounds. And then Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace for yourself, peace for others, and then peace for all. Seer, seeing, and seen. I invite you to stay here for as long as you like, but if you feel ready, you can allow some movement to come back into your body, and then with a nice inhale, roll to one side of your choosing, taking a longer, deeper exhale once you make your way there. When you feel ready, I invite you to join me in a comfortable seated position. We'll bring the hands to heart center. We'll close the eyes and take the gaze down. Before we sing this mantra together, before you just listen, that's fine. I just want you all to know that I'm so grateful for being able to share this practice with you. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. So we'll start first with Om, and it's something that's deep. It should start in the navel, move to the sternum, to the throat, and then by the time you hit the M sound in Om, the mouth should be closed. So, Om. Shanti. 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 Namaste.